Let's go ahead and start this meeting. Let me tell y'all what's happening. All of y'all are on YouTube now, so everybody smile. This is the friendly city.
We're trying to let y'all do, y'all be live instead of us.
If you could, I'd love to have the, guys, could y'all come up here? We usually start our meeting with a prayer and a pledge of allegiance, and we'd love you guys to lead us in the pledge after the prayer, but if everybody would rise, I'd like to get Mike Lott to say the prayer. Hey, which troop are you guys?
We're Pack 30 here
Awesome.
in Middle, and these are the We Blows 2 are about a third of our group.
Awesome.
So we're fixing to transition over into Boy Scouts.
Well, we're excited to have you guys. Mike's going to do the prayer, and then we'll let you guys take over.
Father God, we thank you for your love for us and the way you watch over us every day. And Father, I pray for tonight's meeting that you'll give us wisdom that we need to make the decisions that need to be made. I pray for our citizens who make this city what it is, and I pray that you'll continue to bless us in a mighty way. For it's in Jesus' name I pray.
Amen.
Amen. Y'all can lead us in the pledge.
All right, guys. Face flag. Attention. Salute. Pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, gang.
I mean, it's not picking up this camera over here, so I can't.
Okay, we do still have a dead camera, and so you guys are still on YouTube. Just
And everybody should be able to hear us.
Anyway, Melissa's still working on it, but anyway, is there a motion to adopt the agenda? Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to accept the consent agenda is 1 through 4. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Making sure I wasn't getting too far ahead of you. All right, we've got public comment. Hey, Richard, where you at? Come on up here. And then we got news for you.
I've already heard some good news.
Good.
I was actually coming up here to make sure
I'm afraid
everything's
I don't
going
want
to
to
plan.
announce anything, but anyway, go ahead.
Like I said, I've seen a little bit of improvement on my street. I still have several people on my post that's steadily complaining about the speeders down South George. I recently heard that we're fixing to have a homecoming parade. Y'all fixing to have to shut down the one light that everybody tries to miss anyways. I was just trying to make sure that, you know, I've heard some things from chief of police and everything like that, that some things are possibly fixing to be in order, and hopefully it helps out. Like I said, I have seen a little bit of improvement. Now, ever since my Facebook posts and stuff like that, I've been getting a little hassle from a couple of people coming down the road, revving their pipes and stuff like that. So I've got signs in my front yard that says "Slow down, please."
And I think you can handle a little bit of it.
Oh yeah, I can handle a little bit of it.
Good.
My only thing that I've heard that basically I need to come up here and talk to y'all about it. I've noticed since the school buses, since I've been home this 2 weeks, as long as I've ever been home, that there's a lot of people when they come across that main street or coming from the other street, they, you know, yeah, there might be speeding, they might not be speeding, but they're running up on the school bus. And 20 miles an hour, you know, I went over to that one lady's house that's got a blind child or, you know, disabled child in her area, 15 mile an hour. I was going to see if there was a possibility if we can make my little road 15 mile an hour. You know, maybe that'll help a little bit because, like I said, I'm not just concerned with my kids. I'm concerned with everybody in the community.
I had another guy call me too. He talked about maybe if we could move it to 20. But it's 35.
It's 20 on my road right now.
Okay.
And of course, the two signs, the
You're
one,
probably talking about George Street.
Yeah, I'm talking about George.
the one sign up next to the main street, it's visible. It's pretty much in the right area. The one at the very end of the street is so greened up, you can't even see the speed limit sign on it. Literally at nighttime, all you see is something just hanging there. You know, you can't see nothing, no reflection, no nothing. But like I said, I'm not here to hassle anybody. I just want to try to see if we can. We're doing a good job as we are right now, but you know it's still happening. Y'all don't have enough law officers in the to have out there. That's understandable. The things that Chief told me about, I suggested something to him about, if you put that on my street and then, look after West Fifth, it might actually help out a tremendous amount. But, I would like
that's
to.
a fantastic tool. What he's talked about, and I hope we can announce that here in the next few weeks. But we'll see. But obviously, we want to be vigilant about some of this kind of stuff.
Oh yeah. And like I said,
I think that's a pretty good idea too.
15 mile an hour could be a possibility. Can we discuss it?
My recommendation would be that that's actually Ward 6. So if Craig, if you, I, and Chief Henry want to talk and see what that is, it might be something we can look at for the next. Do you know off the top of your head how many signs we've got? I mean, it's a short road. How many?
It's only 2 signs.
2 signs.
We got
this
2.
way you got one 20 miles.
And then one coming from the other way, and the one from the South George coming on my street, you can't even see it. Like I said, it's so mildewed up from the oak trees, stuff like that, sap on it.
I'll talk with both of them, and we'll see if it's something that Chief wants us to do, or thinks it would be something that. And obviously, they've been patrolling that area pretty heavy, and hopefully, maybe we put them in different spots. I think that other thing that we might do would help. We've actually got something on this agenda where we're putting stop signs. We put stop signs on Trussell a few years ago, and we dealt with that just like you're dealing with this.
Yes.
It's a street I'm on, coming out of my neighborhood all the time, and oddly enough, one of the aldermen said, hey, they do this over in another city, why don't we try stop signs?
Yeah.
And if nothing else, people do take their foot off the gas for the stop. They may not stop, but they at least take their foot off the gas pedal just out of, as a reflex. So we've had some good luck with that. Your street's probably too short for something like that.
Oh yeah, it is. There's only 2 entrances to my street.
Yeah.
You do have that right there by the cemetery area down there, but nobody even uses that anymore. Like that road, maybe 1 or 2 people out of the apartment complex out of the back of my house, might use that. But
awesome. Well, keep in touch with us. We'll talk and see if we can do something on that side. If Chief Ice gives us the green light on that, I don't see why we couldn't.
yeah, like I said, it's just something that I'm concerned of all the kids in the neighborhood, because me and my kids walk down South George, and we literally had to get off on people's property because
it's crazy. I think they start kind of coming downhill once they get that light, and and it's a cut through. They get to South George, and
it is.
They don't want to go to the 4-way in front of Hardy. So here we go. But anyway, I appreciate your diligence on this. For sure.
And I appreciate y'all, and I appreciate everything that y'all have gotten started for me anyway.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
I didn't think I had to announce you for you to come up here.
Hey, Ms. Gordon.
I didn't think I had to announce you for you to come up here. Come on
Well,
up, Miss Carol.
You
Come on
You
up.
have to be invited places.
No,
You
come
don't
on
just
in.
intrude on other people's space
No,
until you are invited.
You're family, so you can go anywhere you want.
Oh, okay, good, good. I hope you feel the same way about my issue on that paper there.
I see it. We got somebody that can help us out here.
And I got some nice pictures up to show you that it's full of limbs, bushes, trees, and snakes. Yeah, it's a snake den. And I do understand people don't want to work and it's hard to keep workers. I understand that. But at some point, I cannot understand why the city can't clean the ditch at least once a year. That ditch hadn't been taught and,
They haven't been over there spraying or anything?
huh?
They hadn't been over there spraying? I thought we were gonna spray some Roundup or
They
something.
spray and they kill those weeds, but that spray don't help them tree limbs that's falling in that ditch.
You just
Okay.
get them out of there, don't we?
Yeah, it needs
Right.
cleaning out. And see when them tree limbs fall in that ditch, they got a lot of tree limbs in there.
Oh, yeah.
They got a lot of bushes there.
And
And
all
they
weeds
come
grow
through,
around them.
they come through there and they spray and they kill that weed.
Mhm.
And then the water can't flow.
I think
Then the
one-
mosquitoes and the snakes.
I think one of the issues, maybe she's referenced to me before, is that we do spray and kill, but if you're killing weeds that are 2 or 3 feet tall, they just you know, they're tall
Fall
dead
down
weeds
and clog
instead of
everything
tall
up, yeah.
Right.
weeds.
We
Exactly.
do have, good news on this front is we have went a period of time without inmates to do some of the work of that nature, and we have gotten them back. So I think we can get something over there and get something done.
Well, I hope so, cause that ditch is ridiculous.
I would've got over there myself now, but you mentioned snakes. So
Well, what you think about people that live there
Live
and
there,
have to
that's
deal with the
true, that's
snakes?
true. I'll just take
You know,
take some
they
of those to
killed
take
4
care of 'em.
snakes in that yard already.
Oh,
Yeah.
Lord, yeah. I'll get with our street department tomorrow.
And see, another problem I have, and that's not your problem, but my problem, with my house being so far up, those snakes come out that ditch and they like to bed up under that
Under
house
the
because
house.
it's marsh and it's damp up there because
Yeah.
the house is sitting so far up.
Don't call me dude.
Rains a lot and they probably hit.
Exactly,
For
that
highland.
adds to the problem,
I'll
exactly.
get with them and see if we can formulate a plan to get over there.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, and maybe work towards a, you know, semi-annual plan or something.
I think once if we get it over and maintain it, it wouldn't be as,
It's hard, yeah, if you come through there and do it good the first time, it won't be hard to maintain if you come regular. But when you come through there and half spray and keep going, it creates some other issues.
that's true. Mr. Carroll, thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I forgot to sign in.
Oh,
But
I'm
my
sorry.
alderman sitting there,
Let me see
they
it.
told me there's nothing we can do about it, but you know, I live on Grace Crossroad. And I got too much traffic down there,
I
all
talked
the
to
time.
Are you talking about speeding?
Yeah.
We got
I'm
something?
through that in cars, on motorcycles, and on four-wheelers.
That's gotta be your neighbors coming out there, hadn't it?
I don't know who all them folks is, but I almost got hit the other morning,
Coming out of your street?
backing out of my driveway.
See what
to get out into the
there's some
street.
hills there and it can become a
And so you
racetrack.
gonna come down the hill and up a hill, and you can't see.
I'll talk to Chief tomorrow and see if we can give it some TLC. We're working on a couple other little things that we think will help. And not to mention, it'll probably be a next year thing. Maybe we look at another person for our, what did I call it? Our traffic division.
Yeah.
One guy. But hopefully we can do that. I mean, all our guys can write tickets, obviously, but we have one guy that really concentrates on that. We did add another dispatch over there, and our traffic guy would also do dispatch, so that should free him up, so things are slowly getting better. If we don't move fast, this is government, Miss Ada.
Well, I know y'all have
We're pacing
I can tell you
ourselves.
this too. I could've got shot, but if they was in the front of my door, right in the front of my door, 2 cars, one headed that way and one headed this way. And they had that music just going out.
Where are they going? Ada, where are they going? They can't
They
go
were
too
just
far.
sitting there, they were just
If
sitting
you-
there. And I mean, that
If
music
one of
was
those
going.
vehicles have lock exterminating on the side of it, you
Well,
call me.
I went to the door. I shouldn't have went out there, but it was in the front of my house. And I had to, I called them, they didn't say nothing. I kept calling, they still didn't say nothing. That music was so loud, and it was a car coming up the hill, and he couldn't pass it. And so that one got out, I told him, I said, "We gotta please move from in the front of my door
Wow,
with that music." You know, that boy is busy down through there.
yeah.
Since my, I'm a hood, I don't say that about it. You know what I'm talking about.
We'll let you at the end speak. We get comments for you at the end too, Ms. Ada.
I don't tell you about that. You know.
All righty, I've got no proclamations and resolutions, no bids and quotes, no old business. Hey, Miss Julie with Holt and Associates to present the FY 2020 audit. Come on up here, Julie.
Good evening. Okay, so each of you should have the letter that I've given you and a copy of the audit report in front of you. Let me know if you don't. So the letter is just a required letter
You need one?
that we need to give you.
Melissa says she needs one.
I don't have all.
You don't have an audit? I'll give you
I have
this one.
heard.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, Melissa. Just figured you had it. Okay, so the letter is just a required letter that we go over with you every year that just talks about the aspects of the accounting practice. We talk about management's estimates in here, which the largest estimate is due to the defined benefit pension plan, where we have to make the actuarial assumptions and do the accrual. We talk about the disclosures of the long-term debt that's in here. If we had any difficulties that we had in performing the audit, which we had none. We talk about corrected and uncorrected misstatements, so whether we've got adjustments that we might make to the audit when we're doing those. Most of the time, we don't really have any of those. Doug and his people kind of make all that before we ever get it, so. And then disagreements with management, we had none of those. Management's representation, so at the end of the audit, we asked them to sign a letter that says they've given us all the information we requested, they've not withheld information from us, and this just lets you know that they did sign that letter for us. And then any other audit findings or issues that we want to bring up or consultations with other accountants, and we have none of that. Okay, so the audited financial statements in front of you, I'm just gonna flip over to, it's gonna be labeled page 5 at the bottom. This is our independent auditor's report, and that very top paragraph tells you what our opinions are, which says that in our opinion, we believe these financial statements are fairly presented. And so this is an unmodified opinion to let you know that we believe that these are correct and materially stated correctly. Then if you'll flip, so behind that, you got your management discussion and analysis that goes through and talks about all the things going on in the city. It compares your financial statements from year to year, kind of tells what's going on there. I always like to point out that paragraph that calls the financial highlights on page 7. And to me, that's kind of a synopsis of your financial highlights. That kind of tells you, okay, if I look at last year's and this year's, these are the things that kind of happened this year. So that's really just a brief summary, but it's called the financial highlights. And then, if you'll flip, so, you know, we did not have to do a federal audit this year in compliance. Probably maybe this coming up year, I'm not sure. Some people are
We
getting,
haven't spent that much, right?
a lot of people are getting those CARES Acts and some of that money. We did make that accrual for about a little less than $300,000 last year for that CARES Act money that should have come in during this year. So that would have been accounted for last year. So you may not have any. Some people are getting enough, some aren't. It just kind of depends. So, but we do still have to look at your compliance and internal control. So if you look on page 60, that's our independent auditor's report on internal control over the financial reporting. And we didn't have any significant deficiencies or material weaknesses to bring up there. And that's what that letter says. And then on page 62 is the independent auditor's report on compliance with state laws and regulations. So we, in part of our audit, we have to look at certain state laws, determine that you are complying with those, and we didn't have any findings or issues with those as well. So, do you have any questions for me?
Appreciate you doing it.
Okay, yes, sir.
Good deal, thank you. If anyone has any questions, something on
I would just like that time to go over this and then maybe call you back.
Absolutely.
Either working session or, like I said.
Absolutely.
drop some
My information's in there, or Melissa has it, so feel free to call me, email me, or let me know, we'll get back together.
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Good, thank you. Alrighty. Alrighty, number 6, is there a motion to request to grant the following variances for the 3D school located at 120 South George Street per the Planning Commission's recommendation? It is to allow reduced number of parking spaces that what is currently required. Let's see, allow for existing parking spaces to be reconstructed along the roadway and to allow backing into the roadway. Is there a motion, or is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Number 7 is request to pay estimate number 4 in the amount of $42,296.95 to Warren Paving, Inc. for 2021 street overlay per Shell, Stearman & Waite's recommendation. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll find out for John. Number 8, request to purchase Caterpillar 250 kilowatt standby generator per Sourcewell quote in the amount of $64,016. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Discussion.
Second for discussion, go ahead.
You just have Mike explain, you know, what this purchase does for the city and why we need one.
Basically, that is our location called Katrina. We have 4 pumps there that pumps all the sewer that comes in the city of Petal over to Hattiesburg. If for some reason we lose power there, the generator is supposed to kick on and be able to supply power to those 4 pumps to keep the sewer going to Hattiesburg. The one we have currently now, there's water in the oil. It's a very old unit, and we need to make sure that we have a dependable unit there so we don't have a failure of sewer.
It was thought in the eighties, wasn't it, Mike?
Sorry?
That last generator in the eighties, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
80s.
We just talked about that last night with John.
Can you get that same make and model and put that in there?
Yeah, so the new model's got a 5-year service warranty, right?
Right. It's got all the warranties there.
Do we know, have we done the outlines for like years 6 through 20 for how much this is gonna cost us for budgeting? And have we looked at the long-term impact for maintenance, for repairs?
Right,
This is
we
the-
have people that come by and it's gonna be full of maintenance on them that, I get them to go every couple of years, as long as they're running properly, to change the oil in them, filters in them, check the belts, things like that. Do it every couple of years, and they do it rather reasonably.
Yeah, that's included part of the price. You know, we talked briefly earlier on this, and we had a great meeting last night with our city engineer, that we are tied at the hip. We're gonna send our sewage across the river for at least the next 50, 60, 100 years. So we're always gonna use that station. Have we looked at using natural gas as a generator in that spot?
It sits so far off the road, it'd be very expensive to try to run a gas line back there.
Yeah, we just, can we look at that before we go, I mean, we really say that, because we're gonna be committed to, you know, having this requirement down there. And natural gas generators and the cat generators are far superior performance and long-term, and for maintenance costs. And like I said, we're gonna be there for a long time. I think it makes sense to look at if it's a $50,000 cost to put a line of gas, you know, natural gas down the road, that we have to take that into account.
It sits about 20 feet up in the air because it's in a flood area, so, you know, you'd have to consider all that as well.
Because like I said, it's natural gas, we don't have to worry about the Clean Act for, you know, for standby for emergency generators. You don't have to worry about transporting diesel there. Like, usually, if there's a reason it goes down for like a natural catastrophe, diesel is going to be difficult to obtain. And I know, we all know that. But the reason so conversion to natural gas generation is typically the way forward in a lot of municipalities, if gas lines are available. But like I said, without a cost knowledge of, you know, how long it takes to put the pipe out there. But I'd like to, you know, maybe just pause briefly. I don't want to know my life, that's when it fails, and, you know, everyone blames Drew for not having a generator there. But, you know, if we're looking at using that site for the next 50 years, I mean, can we just at least look at that option real briefly the next day or two?
I can call the gas company tomorrow and see if I can get somebody lined up to give us an estimate of what it costs to put gas out there. And then we'll look at that number, and then I don't think there'll be a lot of, it may be a little difference. I don't know, we'd have to check back with them and say, hey, what would the cost be natural gas? It's gonna fluctuate a little bit, I don't know which way, but, you know, we'll look at it and see.
You're talking about a dual fuel use, right? Diesel and natural
Well,
gas?
normally it's gas
Yeah,
and
that-
natural gas.
Yeah, that's talking about
size,
natural gas.
basically
One
that
or the
size,
other.
it's usually natural gas, you know, and that's typical. Like I said, when you look at the long-term impacts, natural gas is a smarter way to go, but like I said, we might not be there yet. And that's
Well,
what I was
the
asking.
kilowatts and stuff that you'll get off of it as well, natural gas versus diesel and all, it may be a different horsepower.
It's
It
the
may
same.
fluctuate the price a little bit as well, but I'll find all that out. And if you want to table it for this time, and we'll have that information for the next meeting.
How long is it gonna take you to get the generator as it is with?
I haven't checked with them.
Yeah, this is all
Yes,
state
not- yes,
contracts, so
yes,
really,
it's not.
yeah, we have,
We're not gonna, it's not gonna be delivered tomorrow anyway.
Well, then I'll change my motion, let's table it.
Table it, is there a second, all in favor?
I appreciate it, like I said, just, and maybe, I don't know if you were talking about, you know, what we discussed last night about sewers, but that is eye-opening, and like I said, this is just one aspect that your team's got to deal with, and like I said, there's about a bunch of good projects out there.
Yeah, but for those people that are watching, the $64,000 is a lot of money. It's all the sewage that comes down to the end of the street. It goes down to, right to the edge of the river there. That's where it gets pumped over. If that doesn't work, if we don't have something working, your sewer doesn't go anywhere.
We'll
That won't be pretty.
we'll be into a smelly situation.
Wasn't there a gas leak in that area recently?
We had a sewer.
No, there was
Carterville.
a gas leak in that
Oh,
area
what?
recently, kind of over near the trailer park on Carterville. There was a public notice about it.
Yeah, we're talking about the trainer up at Dawson Cutoff. That's where this is at.
Yeah, it's not far from that, but yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I got you.
Number 9,
Yeah, we're gonna table that one.
number 9, request to accept service agreement with Centos for uniforms per state contract. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion second. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 10, request to reimburse Tommy Thornton in the amount of $180 for towing expense. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 11, request to accept resignation of employee number 12283 effective October 21, 2021. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll go ahead and tell you, we've gone to putting in numbers just for privacy reasons. Obviously, the minutes show who they are, but I can go ahead and say this is nothing nefarious. That's for Shannon Heights, who works over in our recreation department. And she's been an incredible asset, and I just want to thank her, and we'll do it personally. Tomorrow will be her last day. So she's got some big shoes for us to fill. So I just want to thank her for what she's done and what she's meant to PSA, starting out that from basically from scratch. I've always and told them in one of the meetings that we had that every season has a crisis. So you set everything up like you want it, but one thing you're always going to have is change. You always have to be ready for that. So people are going to move around. She got a better opportunity getting back into teaching, so I wished her the best because it's going to be a nice pay raise, getting into something that she's excited about doing, and she'll do fantastic at it. So I appreciate the effort that she's made for us on our behalf. Anyway, number 12, request to accept the resignation of employee number 09395 effective November 8th, 2021. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 13, request to dispose of one DeWalt reciprocating saw, asset number 2225 in the water department. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And here we go, Matthew. Request to make a three-way stop on South George at West 8th Avenue. Is there a motion?
Can I make a motion that we change that to a four-way stop?
There's only 3.
It's only 3, it's right down here.
It's only a three-way.
It
Yeah, down here, you have T-bones. Oh, you were thinking about the other spot.
Where it used to
West
be.
80, you talking about
And we
West 80.
took some out, because I remember, because it was one of the first things we did when I became alderman.
So
If we would like to change it to that, I'm good at either one of those spots.
Okay. In my head, I went down Seventh.
I know, because we had that conversation.
Because that's where they used to be.
Yeah, we had put some, there had been some put from the prior administration, and one of the first things we did is we had taken out, and maybe we took them out because there were some there, and then I guess later on we took those out too. I'm good either way.
Can I have a comment on this one?
Yeah, sure.
The simple fact of where it's saying right now, the park would really enjoy that as far as, people trying to take that sidewalk, that the only sidewalk on South George that, we are able to use.
Yeah.
It would make it a real good difference to have the four-way stop instead of the three-way stop because you actually have a sidewalk. The rest of South George, you don't have no sidewalk, so you're walking down the side of the street with your kids and they're on bicycles. They can't just dip off into a ditch,
And one of the callers that I had
Now
on
that you
South
said, I know
George.
the conversation we had, you said, hey, I know
Yeah.
so-and-so will be happy, and
My
I
brain,
really was
I'm
that.
at Seventh the whole
I was thinking
time.
about the ones that we had taken up, just putting them back and see what happens. And we had some people that wanted to keep it at that time. This is 12 years ago.
The lady that lives right on the other side of the park right there that just recently bought that house, she is.
But I know she was saying some stuff
Yeah.
about speed, and I told her we were gonna get some more
Yeah.
stop signs. I don't think either one of these, I don't think there's a wrong call here.
Right. I don't.
Anything's better than what
Yeah.
we've got right now.
Exactly.
So-
Heck,
but
my
either
preference,
way,
both of them.
That's a long stretch.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Well, that is another cut through for a lot of people that's going to Hattiesburg
Yeah.
from the other side of town behind Dirt Cheap and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They use that road right there a lot.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's only like 2 stop signs, I do believe, on that whole road.
I think we could keep it where it is.
Go with 3.
Three, with it being so close to the park.
Let's
And
monitor it.
there
and we'll
is,
see.
another one down Fifth.
Yeah.
So,
Good
Right at
good
the end.
catch, but I remember the conversation, yeah, should
to
have.
the seventh, so. Yeah, okay, I'll,
We're good with that?
make a motion to accept.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
I'm second for a little bit more discussion. One of the callers I had was, yeah, they like the idea of stop signs for a little bit. They're scared they're gonna stop and speeding on that, because it is such a long stretch. They was talking about wanting to know if we could lower the speed limit there to 20, I think it's
Speed limit there.
25 or 30, I think.
I think it's 25 on that, well, 30,
It's 30.
30 all the way down that road.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I was looking at too, as far as trying to slow it down just a little bit. Because that bus has at least 25 stops, and that's the bus that my kids ride.
I will
So-
say this, I will compliment the folks that were driving on 3 Mile the other day. I was out there on the side of the road the other day, and yeah, there was a few of them kind of getting on it, but for the most part, they were pretty good.
Yeah, but that's just something that's just, you
I
know,
think they probably saw me parked on the side of the road.
That's
probably.
you know, the thing in there too is that, you know, with all the kids that's coming from the park and everything, so that's
Yeah.
what they were kind of worried about that. So maybe it's something we can get Matthew to look
We just
into.
give you more and more stuff to do every meeting, don't we?
And where we put the stop signs?
Hey,
Eight.
you're gonna be.
Let's get Matthew to look at the speed limit there too.
Well, we haven't voted on it.
No.
Need a vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Number 15, here's one for you, Steve. Request for Michelle Strebeck to attend Mississippi Court Clerk Association Fall Leadership Meeting in Starkville, Mississippi. Total cost $0.
Hey, let's let her go to that one.
Okay, motion, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 16, request for the following to attend 1002 driver operator training on October 19th through the 29th. Wow.
Joe can get
At the Hattiesburg Training Academy, total cost $256.20. Cody Barber, Timothy Brown, and Hunter McPhail. Is there a motion?
second. I'm in motion.
Is there a second? Chief?
This last minute saved us quite a good bit of money. We would have sent them to the State Fire Academy at a cost of $695 per student for the course cost plus a stipend for me.
Steve wants to know if it's budgeted.
Yeah, that's always my,
No, we were counting on him for that too.
We can put his name in here. He needs some training.
probably.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Number 17, request for Amy Heath to attend Mississippi Damage Prevention Summit in Biloxi, Mississippi on November 3rd through the 5th. Total cost of $317. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Discussion.
Second for discussion.
Just, my question is, we're going through who attends the summit and just the documentation. It sounds like this is a lot in your wheelhouse, Mike. Do you send somebody to this, or do you just kind of piggyback on the
I
information?
was, but I've been so busy, I didn't get it turned in time. We are still looking at trying to send Donnie down to one of them. There's a locating course that's gonna be there. So I'm gonna try to get it on the next docket.
Okay, for this event?
Right, we couldn't get the motels in time anyway, so I'm gonna probably just let him drive down for that one day, because the locating, he'll be able to talk to others there about all the locating, and we're having a lot of issues right now with boring going on, going through our sewer lines, things like that, and he wants to get in there and talk to them and see what they're doing, and learn what ways they're doing, and see if he can help him on trying to do things better.
Okay, you're on top of it. I didn't see someone from your department, you got your tracking. Thank you.
Got a motion and a second. Is all in favor?
Aye.
Number 18, request for Will Lewis to attend Communications Unit Training October 27th in Philadelphia. Total cost $0.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Orders and ordinances. Number 19, request an order to adopt hiring Jeffrey Levi Scrantz in the Water Department at a rate of $15 per hour effective October 20th. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Welcome back. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Number 20, request to adopt an order hiring DeLorean Varnado in the Recreation Department at a rate of $11 per hour effective October 20th. Here.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? Josh?
I like that name, DeLorean. I like that.
He's worked with us previously in the past for a few years, so he's very familiar with the work of the ball fields.
Good.
Boy, thanks, welcome back. Yeah, if we can help out on anything, you let us know. Oh, is Levi here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, good deal. You doing good?
Yes, sir.
Ready to go to work?
Yes, sir.
Good deal, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Glad to
We
have
like
you on board.
to, some of us know
Welcome
you,
back.
some of us know you, but we like to put a face with the name, so.
I use the old analogy of when we run into you at Walmart, one of the board members, I need to be able to say hey to you. You don't want them to say, well, dang, he didn't even talk to me. But anyway, appreciate the department heads making sure folks are here, and welcome aboard to everybody. Number 21, request an order, let's do adopt an order increasing the rate of pay for Al Clark in the sanitation department effective October 6th. Is there a motion?
October 6th. Specific.
Oh,
Yeah, you forgot that.
You didn't put no money in it.
oh.
That's the best kind of
Yeah.
rating, Ms. Ada.
He did raise him where he was.
That was the old number
I think it's 16 something, is that right, Mike?
I don't remember, it's in the budget, we approved the budget, we just forgot to put in last time.
$16.92
is what. $16.90.
Good budget, Mike.
Why is it for October 6th?
Because it really should have been September, when we adopted them last time, it should have been September 28th or 20th, whenever the other ones went into effect, and I forgot him.
Sanitation is one of the departments we kind of forget because there's only one person in the
Yeah,
department.
so October 6th gets him, he'll get paid that
For the
tomorrow.
next payday.
When he gets his paycheck tomorrow, it'll be on there.
what?
16.
16.92. It's in your pay. I knew I was
So that's still this pay?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
this, October 6th was the first day of this pay period that we're getting paid for.
Gotcha. So it's actually not retroactive, it's just doing the paperwork, correct?
Yeah, he won't get the
Understood.
paperwork, he won't get the pay until after the vote.
Yeah.
But anyway, got a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Number 22, requesting to adopt an order hiring Jason Edwards full-time in the Recreation Department at a rate of $12.50 per hour, pending drug screen and physical.
Motion.
Motion and a second. Josh, you want to talk about this a little bit?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good, there we go. Okay. I don't have my long-range glasses.
I thought
I
he
have
was
my
an attorney.
short-range
I thought
glasses.
he was an attorney. Look at him.
Thought we were getting sued.
He's actually taking on Shannon's position, and after reviewing his resume and his background, he would be a very good asset for this department and for over there at the office on top of the hill. And I'll let him explain.
I actually graduated from Mississippi State. I got my undergrad in sports communications, got my master's in sports administration. I worked in intramural and stuff at the university there. I worked in the athletic department. I've done marketing here and there. So I've done multitask of things I think that would really help the department. So.
Great.
We sat down with Jason the other day, myself, Josh, and Shannon, and Jana. And Jana felt real comfortable, so we were excited to be able to have somebody with your resume to come through here. So,
Absolutely.
and everything. So anyway, hold on before I congratulate you. We got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Absolutely.
Hey, and Mayor, just a note on that, I appreciate, that was a process that Josh and your team, you sent out a resume, you asked for resumes, you put a job duty description out there, you accepted them, the process worked. I appreciate, that, like I said, we got a great candidate from even though he's from Mississippi State.
Yeah. I didn't say nothing.
And the better half.
Steve's happy, but.
My wife is here also. This is my wife, Deidre.
Good to see you.
Good being y'all.
Number 23, request to adopt an order hiring Mason Henderson as a recruit firefighter at a rate of $10.15 per hour, pending physical, drug test, and background check. Is there a motion? Motion. Second motion and second. Chief?
Can we hear next meeting?
I ain't saying that.
I didn't want to be presumptuous about it.
I mean, I just didn't have coffee with you today. I didn't know. Anyway,
I feel left out.
got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any other business? Mayor's report, I'll go ahead and give out some stuff. Obviously, we had a pretty good meeting last night with our engineer, and my hopes for that was we didn't have a big decision discussion. It was basically so we would all have a good understanding of just what our sewer system looks like. We tossed around numbers, and what happens a lot of times in municipalities is the problem gets so huge you don't even know where to start because you don't feel like you're going to win. So I think after last night and with some of the resources that are fixed to come into the city, what I like hearing and seeing from the board is an attitude of, well, let's just start somewhere. We're going to try to leave whoever the next folks are something a little better situation than what we've got now. And I think that's a big step forward. We haven't had resources in the past, but we're fixing to get some. We've actually got $1.3 million. We're actually going to have 2.6 when it's all said and done. And there's some state resources. Some of this stuff, it's crazy. You get ready to run a race and you just wait because it's a marathon. And we probably won't know how we can spend this money and get some directives from the federal government and the state government probably till springtime. So we got a lot of moving parts behind the scene. I don't try to flood y'all with information every time we turn around. I don't want to overload you, but just understand if you don't hear from any of us, a lot of stuff's moving right now, and that's a good thing. But there's a lot of decisions, a lot of heavy lifting that we've got to do down the road. We've got parade, homecoming parade on Thursday at 6 o'clock. We've got Fam Jam. We've got the game on Friday, and then we've got Fam Jam. The weather should be fantastic for all of this on Saturday evening. So that's out in front of Grand Central, and we use that area back there. Anything, Valerie, with that? Looks like it's going to be a...
No, it'll be a great evening, though. Lots of fun jumps for the kids, live music, lots of food.
And we are still deep in negotiations with the fire department to see if Steve can actually drive the high water truck that the alderman will be in. So there may be some special elections coming out. Anyway, he should be able to drive. You don't need a CDL to drive that thing, do you?
Well, we only gave him $100. This is really great.
He can't shift the gears. Maybe I'll sit there and shift the gears with him or something. Looking forward to that, though. I got some good stuff going on. But anyway, any other comments, Miss Ada?
Y'all doing a good job.
Miss Ada, we did not give away any water this meeting.
I was looking.
I'm going to apologize. We'll do better next
I
time.
count all of the money y'all spending every meeting.
I would like to mention that this week was declared Fall Severe Weather Preparedness Week. And I just want to encourage the board, the mayor, and I know we have our department heads here to really, really think about what that means for us moving forward. And I'm going to plead for y'all to please get those ditches cleaned out before the rain starts falling, because it's coming.
And it doesn't take, well, as we know, we've had the tornadoes, we've had the hurricanes. It don't take but a couple hours to change the rest of your week, as they say. But anyway, we're always available. You got anything for any of us, reach out to us. I think that's all I've got. Mike, you got anything?
Anybody got any comments?
Melissa wants to leave, so is there a motion to adjourn? Motion. Is there a second? Second. All in favor? I should have voted it down.
I know, that's what I was, I hope nobody would even go down.